My name is Zane. Good afternoon, Kia ora, namaste. I'm the programmatic director at Acquire Online. I've been working in the space for the past 6 years across ad networks, across publishers, apps. I've done the dodgy stuff in programmatic. I've done the good stuff, mostly the good stuff now. But I started off with the dodgy stuff. This presentation, the reason we're here is to talk about brand safety, transparency. What is programmatic? What is new, emerging trends? I'll start off by what is programmatic? Well, I don't know. There's about 9 different definitions of programmatic from all the top players in the market. According to me, programmatic is automation of the system. It's automation of a buying process. RTB, real-time bidding, sits within the programmatic ecosystem. We use the term very loosely. Google AdWords is programmatic. GDN is programmatic. Programmatic has evolved, it has changed. We have our problems in programmatic. We have brand issues, safety issues, but we're all learning. Tech companies are learning, publishers are learning, advertisers are learning. We're learning to spend our media dollars most effectively. For the guys who don't know how programmatic works or what is an auction, we like using this slide. That's Mary. Mary comes to a publisher site, say New Zealand Herald, and Mary comes with attributes like she likes wine, she likes shopping, she's a photographer. She comes to New Zealand Herald. New Zealand Herald links up to the SSP, which is the supply side platform, and says, well, I got Mary to my site. She's got all of these attributes. I sit right here. That's me, that's DSP, demand side platforms. I'm one of these buyers. And if I have a brand that matches Mary's attributes, if I have a brand, say, Wine Central or Glengarry, I'm going to target Mary to buy a bottle of wine, I value Mary at $2 CPM. There's another guy who values Mary at $1.50 CPM, and another guy at $1.20. How does the auction work? It's a second price auction. That means that the highest bidder wins the auction, but pays 1 cent more than the second highest bidder. So in this case, I win the auction at $1.51. Easy. This auction takes place in less than 0.0005 seconds. Within all of this, we have the capabilities to use audience segmentation. We use DMPs. We can target by browsers, time of day. So if I say, well, thank you, New Zealand Herald. Well, Mary's come to the site, but she's not on an iOS device, and my product can only be sold on an Android device. I don't want to bid for Mary. Thank you very much. And then the auction moves along. If nobody wants Mary, New Zealand Herald serves a house ad. Well, our market is constantly changing. I'm constantly catching for new technology. I'm trying to learn the new technology. And as soon as I learn this new technology and I'm ready and I think I'm confident, well, here we go again. A new technology comes in, and that's the reason I love my job. I love my job. I love Excel sheets. I love looking at auctions. I love looking at trends. The only reason I love doing it is because it gives me something to come to work and say, well, new product, let me test that. New advertising, let me test that. Oh, so that's me. Well, let's talk about brand safety and transparency. Well, programmatic it used to be semi-transparent, it used to be remnant, it used to be like, oh, I don't know what this is, a few guys pressing a few buttons, the machine's doing all the work. It is, to an extent, but it needs a human element, it needs a human touch. The market is cloudy, it is complex. What is transparency? Why agencies charging me more? The IAB transparency calculator, we have all these tools, but ask the right questions. I keep telling all my advertisers and brands and advertisers and publishers, ask the right questions. Well, it is complex. But you can get from point A to point B, but there's ad servers, there's DMPs, there's DCOs, audience segmentation, different kinds of creative, the lean method, your ads need to be light. All of this works well if everybody plays along. If everybody plays along, publishers, ad servers, if people stop getting greedy, stop sort of putting the advertiser at the forefront, the brand at the forefront, I think it'll be a very clean ecosystem. The reason we're here talking about brand safety and transparency, to me, are 3 reasons. Russia, Australia, America. Let's start with Russia. The beautiful MetBot was created in Russia in 2015, finally caught in 2016 in November. If you guys don't know what the MetBot is, group of hackers built 6,000 websites. They just went online, bought 6,000 websites, and changed the URL of the website. Piece of code, change the URL. All they did was, well, bought a website, say abc.co.nz, and renamed it to espn.com. That tricked the DSPs. People like me tricked me because I was buying inventory on espn.com. My DSP was saying, well, you're buying it on espn.com, and I was buying it. These guys made $5 million a day. $5 million a day. I thought I was in the wrong business. $5 million a day. This was only done on video ads. $5 million, that was about $11 CPM. We worked it out $11 CPM. They're still not caught. Some of them are. It's embedded in our ecosystem now. So it's up to us, buyers like me, to question the buy. If I get a CTR of 2 or 3%, oh, no one's clicking video ads. Because a video ad is not a conversion tool, it's a branding tool. You look at completion rates. So if you get a 5% CTR on your ad, either the guy is waiting to close your ad and hitting the click button, or it's the method. Australia. There was this particular case in Australia was Tourism Australia, Queensland. A journalist was researching for ISIS videos. Like he was on the website, on YouTube, searching for ISIS videos, and he happened to find that. That impression was served only 5 times. 5 times only. But, well, it blew out of proportion. Everybody said, I'm putting on my budget out of YouTube, I hate YouTube. I talked about why that's wrong. And of course, if you guys don't know Mark Pritchard, he's the Chief Brand Officer of Procter & Gamble, the highest spender of digital media in the world. And Mark in Jan said, well, it's time to change. It's time for us to grow up. And when Mark speaks, the world listens. Google listens. He demanded transparency. He said, I'm not going to work with any of my advertisers if you do not tell me how much of my media is spent on P&G. If you take 20%, well, no problem. Tell me $80. Out of the $80, what was spent on brand safety, what was spent on viewability, what was spent on ad serving. Break it down for me. That's all he wanted. The guys who couldn't do, he just pulled out budgets. He said, well, I'm not going to work with in an industry where you see you can measure everything, you have all this transparency, programmatic is clean, look at my hood, under the hood, and you want to see all these tools. But he was cheated. He felt cheated. And when he spoke, Google listened, Facebook listened, agencies listened, ad networks like me listened, started giving mic and started doing our job. So what exactly is ad fraud? This is the basic level of ad fraud, selling fake inventory. That's your method. Getting a URL, putting in a few ads, cheating the DSPs, hiding ads. This is called ad stacking or cookie stuffing. It's basically keeping a small pixel on a publisher site and just running ads on that small pixel. No one's exposed to these ads. You get 100% completion rates, brilliant viewability because your ads can't be seen with the naked eye. Automatic refreshing. Oh, brilliant. I love publishers who do that. Your ads just refresh. Go to the page, refresh, 2 seconds, new ad. 2 seconds, new ad. Doesn't give you the chance to click on it. Domain spoofing is another way you can have, well, XYZ, but you go to the market as capex.com. I'm glad that Capex is now being a transparent network, because in a transparent network, you know exactly what you're buying. You know you're buying News and Herald, you know you're buying MediaWorks, you know you're buying TVNZ. Proxy users are people like me, looking to get Netflix America, so I download something in my browser, and I get Netflix America content. The fraud there is that I'm exposed to ads that the brand thinks that I'm in America, and showing me ads for like Walmart and stuff like that, but I'm sitting in New Zealand. The percentage of fraud there, it's not actually fraud, but it's tricking your browser, or tricking your DSP to say, well, I'm sitting in America. Right. How does it work? Pretty easy. That's the hacker. Yeah, he writes some code. You go to a website, you download a toolbar, your browser's infected. That guy goes to all of these sites. It's a kind of remarketing fraud as well. So these guys will go to all Harvey Norman, Noel Leeming, Mitre 10, all the top brands, and say, well, they'll mimic a human behavior. They mimic a human behavior, so you don't even know it's a bot. They'll sit on your site for a while, they browse, they put something in the cart and buzz off. So as marketers, they think, oh wow, that's news, I'm going to remarket him. Six ads per hour, I'm showing ads to bots. You never get a conversion. So it's up to buyers like us to understand these systems. Well, that's all. The bad part's over now. That's the dirty part of the market, dirty part of the industry. It is definitely in our ecosystem. We definitely have fraud. We definitely have bad coders who are spoiling the name of programmatic, but there's tools available. How do we ensure that your campaign is safe? 3 simple methods. Pre-bid. There's technology like IAS, double verify, peer 39 that scan a page before your ad has an opportunity to be shown to a user. So what it does is, if you don't have a masked URL, if you guys are familiar with AdWords and you're running GDN, you get a cost per click of 0.02 and you're happy because you're going, man, brilliant, 2 cents a click, I'm going to charge my advertiser $5, make $4, sweet as profit, right? Well, that's masking the URL. So it doesn't give these guys the opportunity to see where your ad's being served. And hence Capex is taking a chance to say, well, give all the advertisers an opportunity to scan the page. And New Zealand will advertise with Capex now because they have the opportunity to say, well, this author is talking about an air crash or a missing plane. I don't want to show my ad. Very simple to use. IAS, Peer 39, double verify, 3 vendors. They're available on all platforms. They're available on TBM, MediaMath, AppNext, the Trade Desk. So we got all this ready. Running my campaign now. I'm still not seeing results. I'm not seeing viewability. No conversions. I'm getting frustrated. So during the campaign, we look at page level URLs. We look at, well, I've served 500 clicks to Daily Mail. 500 clicks to Daily Mail, 0 conversions. I need to question that buy. I need to question. I've sent 500 clicks from an advertise from a URL Daily Mail. The guy's clicking my site. I've got a viewability of 60%. I'm quite happy with it. No conversions. Check your exchanges. Check your inventory source. Where are you buying your traffic from? Well, post-impression. Post-impression is something that I really like. We were the first company to kind of partner with Moat in New Zealand. Moat is now bought by Oracle, so they're going to get bigger and bigger. We wrap the ad in a piece of code. So if the ad served on a site, it's monitoring everything. It's monitoring scroll velocity, how long was your ad in view, heat maps on the ad if you're engaging with the ad. And that tells you, like, if you're using pre-bid technology and post-bid technology, you're measuring both. You're trying to serve on traffic that's clean, traffic that's highly viewable, and you're using Moat or post-view impressions to check whether is your pre-bid working with your post-bid. In theory, it all makes sense, but when you actually do it, it gets a bit tricky. You need to kind of understand publisher mentality. You need to understand whether the publisher is arbitraging. There are months, if you use the blacklist, I got it on a blacklist, but that month the publisher could not be arbitraging. Arbitraging is when a publisher tries to get inventory at a very low cost to fill demand. Now, if the publisher gets 100 users a day, but has demand for 500 users, well, publisher needs to make money. Publisher can't get organic traffic. Publisher advertises for itself, which is fair, which is fine. But you need to monitor this. You need to check that. What do? We work with multiple brand safety vendors, Double Verify, IAS, Peer 39, Moat. We update a blacklist regularly. This means a blacklist in Jan is different from a blacklist in Feb. The only reason is, when I first started off this in New Zealand, when I first came, there was a website called Shopping Lifestyle. Shopping Lifestyle occurrence, and it's fraud. It's completely fraud. I met the guys who own that site as well. But it's fraud. All they do is buy cheap traffic. All they did, they're based in Takapuna. These 2 boys, all they did was buy cheap traffic, but it's legal for them to do that. It's people like us who are buying that. We're not questioning because all I want is a cheap CPC. Well, I was getting that cheap CPC, but I was getting 0 sales. So when my advertiser, my boss was on my case saying, well, dude, you spend $10,000, you got no sales, what's happening? I questioned my buyer. I questioned the ability. Invest in new technology. Technology is constantly innovating. We're getting new tools, new platforms, brilliant platforms to play with. But question your platforms. We question every buy. There's no right campaign. You can always do better. You can always do better on a buy. If you're happy with a buy, well, you don't like your job. There's no right campaign. There's no right campaign. I keep telling the guys as well, there's no right campaign because you could always do better. You could always buy at a cheaper rate. It's a fight between me, ad ops on the ad side, and ad ops on the supply side. These guys want to sell at the highest possible price. I want to buy at the cheapest possible price. But I also want to buy clean inventory. They also want to sell that clean inventory. And we need to find this balance. That's the tricky part. Training and upskilling, very important. Don't be satisfied with your AdWords certification. You can Google, test results, AdWords, and you can find the answers and pass these exams. It's very easy to pass exams, but upskill yourself. Find out what's new in the market. just a few minutes. The YouTube crisis was a surprise. Well, sorry, it wasn't a surprise. We know that people on YouTube have these channels that talk about that. There's soft porn on YouTube. There's garbage on YouTube. You just plan, you buy it right. If you question your advertisers, question your vendors, if you have to plan, if the guys in Queensland had to plan the buy right, even if it's a remarketing campaign and the guy in question saying, well, the user was on your site and that user's watching the ISIS video, so he was served an ad. But you should have your negative keywords. Where's your negative keywords? Why are you not blacklisting crime sites or negative sites? Well, fair enough. YouTube is a crappy system. You might tick all of that, but you might still be exposed to that. But you have another layer. You target placements. You're safe with the placements. You target Aussie Man reviews. He's funny. You get people clicking on your ad. It's brand exposure. Programmatic will replace humans. They cannot at this stage. Even though the algorithms are smart and they ingest all these 100 data points and attributes, and they can make these decisions in real time, but they still don't understand that if Daily Mail gives you 500 clicks and 0 conversions, it needs to stop. Unless you tell it that, well, it's a conversion campaign and optimize to a conversions. So it needs a human to instruct it to know what to do. If you say a word, if CPC is your goal, and the algorithm says, well, CPC is your goal, I'm going to optimize, and you relax and have a beer, well, it will optimize. It will give you the lowest CPC, but it won't give you a sale. So you need to tell it to optimize towards a conversion. And if you're optimizing to a conversion, what is the conversion like? Marketers bringing programmatic in-house doesn't threaten agencies. Of course it does. Of course it does. But as agencies and as brands, programmatic is not easy. It's investment in technology. There's constant educating yourself. There's different things that you need to kind of do to make that work. But it is a threat. Collaborate with your vendors. The myth that was demystified last year it's not relevant anymore. You have programmatic guarantee deals, you have programmatic automated deals with all the top publishers. Programmatic is black box, it's not. Ask your vendors. If you want to know browser level data, timestamp level data, what time of day was your impression suffered, what browser, on what device, on what operating system, on what model, you get everything. If you want to know what that is. Last 2 slides. Emerging trends. This is New Zealand specific. You can now buy Spotify programmatically, which means Spotify is free in New Zealand for Spark users. Paying $40 and a $40 plan, but targeting the millennials are great because they like that. Programmatic video on Spotify is incentivized. They have to watch the video to get 30 minutes for free. It's brilliant, 100% viewability. Programmatic newsletters. I am a big fan of Manchester United. So guys told me I unfortunately don't watch enough of games because it's a 3 a.m. So in the morning I get a newsletter and I'm checking the scores, Rooney score or Zlatan's injured, and on that newsletter is a 300 by 250 banner. This is sold through an exchange called Live Intent. And you can buy that programmatically now. I could buy banners based on the team I like. If somebody likes Liverpool, I don't know for what reason you like Liverpool, but if you like Liverpool, Richard, I can show you an ad that's targeted to a person that has similar tastes in football clubs than Liverpool. Out-of-home media, Val Morgan recently launched programmatic out-of-home media. Brilliant. I think it's a good step in the right direction for New Zealand. It's not true programmatic yet. When I say true programmatic there's no auction environment yet where I can go and bid and say, oh, I want to buy that real time, I want to do this, I want to bid that. It's not yet, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Native, finally Google launched their native offering in New Zealand. We're testing it now. It's good. You get quality sites. Huffington Post is coming to New Zealand. If you guys don't know, they're brilliant sites. Content discovery platforms, Taboola and Outbrain. If you guys read the news, they're merging now to fight that giant. Specialized platforms. There are platforms that target kids. There's a brilliant ad network called Super Awesome. It's based in Australia. They target kids' channels. So if you have a campaign targeting moms, you can target them from 3 to 5 and they're feeding their kids after school, after daycare on those kids' channels. All the ads are vetted. Specialized platform. There's a finance native network that has 10 sites only. One of my colleagues, while he was researching, found that finance network. It's brilliant. You have Huffington Post, Money Control, CNN. They only take ads that are not tier 2 lending companies, not personal finance, but house loans and home loans. Audience segmentations and DMP. New Zealand is a small country. Let's accept it. Our population is very, very small. DMP is brilliant for New Zealand. Great for Trade Me. Guys that have massive volume, capex, brilliant, because they got like everybody in New Zealand goes to one of the sites of capex. Audience segmentations are for smaller businesses, where we need to, when a user comes to your site, all we do now is we'll pixel the user, follow the user across the web, hopefully he or she converts and done, story over, job done. Audience segmentation, we write the rules for that IP. We tell that IP, well, if this user's gone to page A, B, and C, I want it to be in segment A. A, B, C for 5 hours, segment B. A, B, C is repeated my site for the past 7 days. I want to remarket him aggressively. Use that pixel or cookie to build your own audiences. And if you get bigger and better at this, you can even sell that. Augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and chatbots. Pokemon was good, but Pokemon Go was a good game. It started, it went. There's a lot of testing now with ads as well. So you can buy a 300 by 250. You click on the ad, and your phone is transformed to a car, and you can see people moving around, checking out the car, looking stupid. But you can do stuff like that with Audi or with any other brands. Chatbots are bots that like Siri. It's a very good example. There was a guy traveling in Manhattan, and he was going to book tickets for the cinema. So he asked Siri about tickets for cinema, and he said, well, okay. And he started talking to this person. Saying, oh, well, I'm right here. And the person knew where he was, saying, oh, you're stuck in traffic, don't worry, the movie is 7 o'clock, and you could be there on time, and you could buy tickets. And he bought his tickets, and he felt, oh, well, this person knew what I was, or maybe location data is on, he thought he was smart. At the end of the day, he said, well, thank you for your purchase, and he had a problem. So he called up, and he said, well, I spoke to so-and-so person. I said, well, all our systems are automated. There's no humans. So he had the entire conversation with the robot. I thought it was hilarious because he wrote an article on the New York Times saying, well, he thought he spoke to a real person. But that's the power of a chatbot. If you train it, you can write different algorithms to make it sound human. Last but not the least, influencer marketing. It's growing in New Zealand. There's about 4 platforms now. I tried one. Strangely, a few months ago, I moved from India about 4 years ago, and while in India, I had a project. Sachin Tendulkar is a big cricket fan. He's like God in India, and this guy wrote a book. And he was retiring. He wrote a tribute to Sachin. And I said, well, I'll promote it for you. It was a Facebook campaign. I ran. India's a big country. I got a like for 0.01 cent, and I had about 30,000 likes. Campaign was a success. He was happy. He sold his book. Sachin was happy. Brilliant. So after the campaign was over, I said, hey mate, you know what? This is the logins to your Facebook page. Do you want it? Oh, man, Sachin's retired. What am I going to do with it? I said, well, can I keep it? He said, yeah, sure. And I kept it for the past 4 years. I've been Googling Sachin 2015. Whatever came up, I've been posting just to engage that audience. And I did that for the past few years, and I had 30,500. I went to one of these platforms for laughs. And I said, let me see what's going to happen. I went to this platform. There was this dude trying to sell this guitar app, right? It's like you tune your guitar. He wanted anyone to engage with his ad. He was going to pay $500, anyone to engage. I had 30,000 people on my Facebook page. Right? I would get, he wanted 500 engagements minimum. So I put it up there for laughs, and he paid me $500. As simple as that. Influencer marketing, that guy valued my post. I don't really know my audience. I didn't know who my audience was. I knew they were Indians because they like Sachin. That was it. But stuff like that. So Dan Kara loses his job. He go to influencer marketing and make some money. Last slide. A few takeaways. Establish and measure the right KPIs. CPC, CPM are metrics of the past. We need to move on now. We need to grow up. We need to measure viewability, bounce rate, completion rate, time on site. Stuff like that. Just something to measure a campaign. Don't run a campaign if you can't measure. It doesn't make sense anymore. Programmatic gives you the opportunity to use it. Vet your vendors and your partners and their vendors and partners. If I work with Moat, I vet them. You vet me. If you're using me, question me. Say, well, Zane, you spent $10,000. Vet me. Question. Viewability and brand safety. Well, a viewable impression, if you guys don't know what a viewable impression is, if 50% of your ad, that's your ad. If you see 50% of that for 1 second, well, viewable impression. If If you see 50% of a video player for 2 seconds, that's a viewable impression. So change metrics, change question. Well, MRC used that as a standard. It didn't say you have to do that. It says, well, let's set a standard. 1 second is enough. But you say 5 seconds. You pay a vendor, say, well, 1 second, well, I have an attention span of a goldfish. I need 5 seconds to comprehend that ad, look at that ad. I also have banner blindness. I don't look at ads anymore. I don't only see ads. I don't use an ad blocker. My mind's an ad blocker. Last but not least, media buying has changed, have you? Programmatic is bad. Programmatic has its sort of ups and downs, but it gives you value for your money. You can measure everything. You can measure the right KPIs. You can do fun stuff with programmatic. You can send people. We ran a campaign recently where we sent people to church. It was a Poppy Day, one of the day, Anzac Day, and we were sending people to church. So we started sending people to a website where they look at the, just send directions on your phone. We only targeted mobile devices. So people went to church, or, go to church. Well, successful campaigns, you can use the different tools within the programmatic space to test campaigns, try campaigns, dynamic creatives. You can pixel everything. If you're just going to site A, B, and C, like a jacket on A, something on B, and something on C, show them a carousel, an ad with all 3 products, and measure everything.